Hi, we're Doug and Mary, a retired couple traveling around North America in a Toyota Sienna minivan converted into a camper. We try to stick to the back roads and look for hidden gems along the way.
Last time, we wound our way through northern Ontario, found a couple of microbreweries, traveled through Quebec where we didn't understand a word, got rained on a lot, crossed over into Labrador, and traveled through a forest fire evacuation.
Now we are continuing north on the Trans-Labrador Highway through one of the most remote locations in eastern Canada. There are hundreds of miles of this type of scenery, scrubby spruce trees, some balsam firs and aspens, and a lot of boggy wetlands.
Churchill Falls was once considered one of the most impressive falls in the country, but now there's barely a trickle since the generating station diverts most of the water.
The town of Churchill Falls is a company town of about 700 people, entirely supported by the electric company that owns the hydro facility.
Your destination is on the left.
We got gas and water, few groceries and lunch, then checked out the town library in a building that houses the post office, school, hotel, restaurant, swimming pool, bar, and just about everything else. Tours of the generation facility weren't running at the time, so we continued up the road.
Another highway department staging area made a secluded and quiet camp spot for the night. Okay, what's the forecast today, Mary?
Really, sunshine and bugs.
With a high probability of rain.
Continue on Trans-Labrador Highway for 142 miles.
At around 8,000 people, Happy Valley Goose Bay is the largest town in Labrador. The Goose Bay Air Force Base is used by many NATO countries, including the United States, and includes a 50,000 square mile training and bombing range. In 1950, an American bomber leaving the base, carrying a nuclear bomb, encountered engine problems and jettisoned the bomb, destroying it and spreading toxic uranium in the St. Lawrence.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the left.
Tonight we're staying in a hotel. It's pouring out. It's been pouring out all day. So we decided to escape that a bit, take some of our food and eat inside, watch some YouTube videos, take a shower. Mary even gave me a haircut. We have 2 days before we cross over on the ferry, so it's nice to be able to at least relax on one of them and stretch out a bit.
We have a little over 400 miles to go to catch the ferry. with a few things to see along the way and 2 full days to do it. Should work out just about right.
Moose! Two! Maybe out there.
Boy, a big rack on those guys. Or at least on that one on the left.
Found those gloves online.
Fox.
Attached.
With the crowns? He's got a rabbit in his mouth. Well now. He's proud of that.
Boy, he sure was, and he just kept going.
Turn right onto Notley's Drive. Continue on Notley's Drive for 3/4 of a mile.
These are the kind of places that make it all worthwhile. This is just a great billion-dollar view right here. It's just gorgeous. We're right on the inlet to the Labrador Sea. Overlander said, be careful you don't park too close because the tide will come up and start lapping at your tires. Despite the fact it's been raining all day long, I mean, we did pretty good finding a spot. And the rain broke a little bit, just enough for us to make supper, and now the bugs are coming back out, but that's how it goes. Boy, it's a beautiful morning out here. We're at elevation probably 5 or maybe 10 at the most, which is certainly a lot different than we're used to. This is probably the nicest morning we've had, maybe the whole trip. It's cool. There's a nice breeze. The mosquitoes aren't bad. Nice blue skies and sunny. It's certainly different than what I've heard is at home with the 100-degree weather for the last 2 weeks. I'm glad we're here now. And there's this little bird. He looks like he's looking for a bug. Busy already this morning. This is our farthest easterly point on mainland North America, and the farthest east you can possibly drive. St. Louis was settled in the early 1700s and is considered a subarctic climate with long winters and icebergs floating into the bay even during the summer months.
The village of Red Bay is home to the Red Bay National Heritage Site, which depicts the history of the settlement established by the Basque people of Spain in the 1500s. As many as 600 people in 15 ships came across the Atlantic every year to hunt whales and return with whale oil. The operations ended after 70 years, and 25,000 whales had been killed. The whale populations never recovered.
Our last day in Labrador had some of the best scenery in several hundred miles as we skirted the Laurentian Mountains again. Oddly enough, the ferry terminal to Newfoundland was located about 2 miles back across the border into Quebec.
It's always fun to watch the ferry come in and unload. ferry crossing was only about 22 miles and 1.5 hours long, and it was cold and windy out on the deck, but there were no mosquitoes. That's where we stopped this time. After 2 years of trying, we finally made it to Newfoundland. We arrived and it was cold, rainy, and windy. But soon it will be hot, humid, and windy.
Join us next time when we see where the first European settlers set foot in North America over 1,000 years ago. And they didn't like the wind either. We find that the wind can be frustratingly expensive to deal with. And while we typically travel slowly, these road conditions redefine slow.
Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and thanks for watching.